That's okay, not being braggadocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I gotta go, I ain't no joke.
Rappers want to be ball players, and ball players want to be rappers. Music and sports are two things that go hand in hand. Throughout history, we've seen NBA players like Allen Iverson, Damian Lillard, Carmelo Anthony, Metta World Peace, and Kobe Bryant try their hands at rapping. On the flip side, we've had rappers like Master P, J. Cole, Sheck Wes, Lil Romeo, and more try their hands at basketball. While all those people that I just named tried with varying results, there's no one, at least on the baller side, that was more successful than Shaquille O'Neal. Before I get more into the video though, I would first like to thank you guys for coming to see this. If you like the content, you should like, comment, and subscribe to help the channel grow. Also, follow my Instagram too, that would be greatly appreciated. You guys can always reach out and just show me some love, it's all good. Most importantly, comment down below on what you think of Shaq's rap career. The story of his rap career starts all the way back to the early 90s. In interviews, Shaq has always talked about his love for rap music and the hip-hop culture. His love for rap music is something that always followed him even when he was drafted first overall in the 1992 NBA draft by the Orlando Magic. There was a lot of hype around Shaq, and with this, he had to do a ton of interviews. The interview that opened the door wide open for his rap career was when he appeared on the Arsenio Hall show in 1992. While on the show, Shaq mentioned that in previous interviews, he talked about how the Fu-Shnickens were his favorite rap group at the time. After hearing this, the group reached out to him. This eventually led to the Fu-Shnickens doing a video and song with Shaq, which became What's Up Doc, Can We Rock? While Shaq was on the Arsenio Hall show in 1992, he performed the song alongside the group. According to Shaq, after this interview and performance on the Arsenio Hall show, his agent contacted him and said that Jive Records wanted to offer him a deal. The deal was $10 million for 3 albums. Shaq ended up taking this deal, and for him, it was never about the money. He never really wanted to be a rapper, but he did like the idea of having the opportunity of rhyming with his favorite rappers. Out the gate, he had a song with the Fu-Shnickens, and Chip Fu of the Fu-Shnickens is the person who taught Shaq how to be an MC and coached him on his delivery. The Fu-Shnickens song, What's Up Doc, Can We Rock? Featuring Shaq would not be officially released until June of 1993. By August of that year, the song went platinum, and that's where it remains today. It also peaked at number 39 on the Billboard Hot 100.
That's okay, not being braggadocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I gotta go, I ain't no joke.
Shaq really impressed people with his verse on the song. I think he did an excellent job, and I can see how people were hyped about Shaq having a rap career. I mean, his verse on this song is what literally got him his record deal, according to him. After What's Up Doc, Can We Rock? Fans would not have to wait long until Shaq released his debut single. The single, I Know I Got Skills, was released in September of 1993, peaking at number 35 on the Billboard Hot 100. By December of that year, the song went gold.
When I get tired, then I punch her in the stomach, I don't give a heck. Hey, yo, why you pull the hooker like that? Yo, she breathe on my neck.
To remain marketable and not displease the NBA, Shaq was a clean rapper for the most part, especially around this time. This is why I laugh when in the song I Know I Got Skills, Shaq raps, punch you in the stomach, I don't give a heck. Like, To me, that is just so funny. But Shaq definitely had to do this because years later, the NBA pretty much shut down Allen Iverson's rap career. His lyrics were deemed as being violent, misogynistic, and homophobic. But I Know I Got Skills was the only single before Shaq's debut album was released. In October of 1993, Shaq released his debut album, Shaq Diesel. It peaked at number 25 on the Billboard 200 chart. Despite receiving mixed reviews, the album achieved platinum status, selling over 1 million copies by March of 1994. This is Shaq's only album to do so. The only other single that was released from this album that had moderate success was I'm Outstanding. This was released in November of 1993. It peaked at number 47 on the Billboard Hot 100. By 1994, Shaq's star was rising as he explored other ventures outside of basketball, whether that was acting in the movie Blue Chips or having his own video game, Shaq Fu, which is widely panned. The name of the video game was the inspiration for the name of Shaq's sophomore album, Shaq Fu: The Return. The lead single for this album was Biological Didn't Bother, which released in October of 1994. The song peaked at number 78 on the Billboard Hot 100.
You brought me into this world, but you're not my dad. Mess around with them drugs, make my mom's mad.
Biological Didn't Bother is dedicated to Shaq's stepdad, Philip A. Harrison. He's the man that Shaq acknowledges to be his father since his biological father didn't bother, hence the name of the song. The song showed people that Shaq could rhyme about deeper subject matter than his skills on the basketball court. In November of 1994, Shaq's sophomore album, Shaq Fu: The Return, was released. It wasn't nearly as successful as Shaq Diesel, with the album peaking at number 67 on the Billboard 200. As of January of 1995, the album is gold. The hardest song on this album to me is the second single, No Hook. It's one of the best songs from Shaq that I've ever heard.
Look out, so here me comes, quick to reach it down like the RZA on the drums.
Shaq ultimately never dropped his third album on Jive Records as part of his deal. In 1993, Shaq co-founded the label Twism, or The World Is Mine. After his deal with Jive Records, Shaq got with Interscope Records, whose headquarters is in California. This was fitting because after 4 years in Orlando, Shaq left the Magic to join the Los Angeles Lakers, where he became teammates with Kobe Bryant, who got drafted a month earlier in 1996. Most people would think that his debut album would be his favorite album, especially since it went platinum, but that's not the case. His favorite album is actually You Can't Stop the Rain, which was the first album he released after becoming a Laker. The reason why is because the album featured a lot of people he deems to be legends. People like Biggie Smalls, Jay-Z, and Mobb Deep. Biggie actually featured on the lead single for the album, which is officially titled Still Can't Stop the Rain, but it's also known as You Can't Stop the Rain.
To be a king for a minute, now feel it. Porsches, Benzes, pounds is endless. It's never hard to tell who my crew or Twism is.
Hearing this song reminds me of Lamar from BMF due to him singing the sample of the song in the show. The sample is You Can't Stop the Rain by Loose Ends. The song Shaq did with Biggie is really good. According to Shaq, Biggie did his verse in minutes, but he had to tell him to redo his verse because his first verse was too explicit for Shaq's image at the time. Shaq actually still has this deleted verse, but we'll probably never hear it. The album You Can't Stop the Rain peaked at number 82 on the Billboard 200. A fun fact about the album is that there's a song titled No Love Lost, which features Jay-Z and Lord Tariq. Originally, the song was set to have an all-star cast of Jay-Z, Nas, and Biggie. Unfortunately, the record could not get cleared, but it would have been interesting to hear, especially with how Jay-Z and Nas ended up. In 1997, Shaq starred in the movie Still, which went on to become a box office failure. Shaq appeared on the soundtrack of the movie, most notably on the song Men of Steel.
Many know that Shaq made a mills, but did you know that Shaq made a steal? Feel me?
The last album that Shaq released for years was Respect. He dropped this album in September of 1998. It peaked at number 58 on the Billboard 200. Kobe Bryant is one of the features on the album for the song 3 Times Dope. I mentioned Kobe's short rap career earlier, so if you guys want a full video about his rap career, let me know down in the comment section. While Respect ended up being Shaq's last album for a while, this was not the original plan.
Sit and look at life and wonder how did it happen? The money, women, fame, diamonds, and all the platinum. Then I wonder, is it worth it? Do I deserve it?
After the Respect album, Shaq took a break from music for a few years. At the turn of the millennium, Shaq started to build up hype for a new album that he was working on. He told the Source magazine that the album was going to be revolutionary and that he wanted to bring together all genres. He really wanted to challenge himself on all levels as an MC, writer, and producer with this project. The new album was titled Shaquille O'Neal Presents His Super Friends. The reasoning for this title is that Shaq wanted to feature his super friends on the album with artists set to appear such as Black Thought, Questlove, 112, Ludacris, Nate Dogg, Common, Mos Def, Trina, George Clinton, Snoop Dogg, and more. Shaq was also no longer with Interscope Records and planned to release the album through Chama Records' joint venture with Shaq's own label. Shaquille O'Neal Presents His Super Friends was originally set to release on 9/11 in 2001, which would have been bad timing due to the tragedy that occurred that day. While it was originally set to release in September of that year, it got pushed back to October. The only official single that was released and got a music video was the song Connected, which featured Dub C and Nate Dogg.
LA well respected, Shaq well connected, Mr. Outstanding, big man on campus, champion plus the king of Los Angeles.
Promotional singles were given out to music critics to help build up the hype for the project. Some critics cited that the music itself was ambitious and impressive, but considered Shaq's rapping to be mediocre. October of 2001 came and went, which resulted in no album. Shaquille O'Neal Presents His Super Friends ended up being shelved for unknown reasons. So unreleased the album became, and a lot of the songs that were slated for the album ended up getting leaked. I've listened to most of the songs on the album, and I think if it was released, it would have been one of, if not the best albums that Shaq ever did. One of my favorite songs from Shaquille O'Neal Presents His Super Friends is No Words.
Sit and look at life and wonder how did it happen? The money, women, fame, diamonds, and all the platinum. Then I wonder, is it worth it? Do I deserve it? My past life, how could I word it? I wasn't perfect.
However, according to the Lost Media Wiki, some of the tracks for the album are unattainable and will probably never see an official release. There is one reviewer from AllMusic who got the chance to listen to the entire album and gave it a 4 out of 5-star rating, saying the album was surprisingly impressive. So you might be wondering what songs are lost or went unreleased. Some people might know that in 2001, Shaq performed a rendition of the classic song It Takes Two by DJ Easy Rock and Rob Bass. He performed this at the Los Angeles Lakers back-to-back championship victory parade in 2001. Shaq's rendition of the song was scheduled to be a part of the album, but according to the track listing on multiple different sources, the track ended up being cut from the final version of the project. In conclusion, this album is partially lost and it's unclear if we'll ever hear the album in its entirety. It wouldn't be until 2008 when Shaq returned to the headlines for his rapping. This time, it was for Shaq's infamous freestyle where he took shots at Kobe Bryant.
Check it, you know how I be. Last week Kobe couldn't do without me. You know how I be. Last week, Kobe couldn't do without me. I call myself big, but I'm not as good as Biggie. I call myself big because I live next to Diddy. Excuse me, Diddy lived next to me. So in the hood, dog, I feel like B.I.G.
By 2008, Shaq was 4 years removed from being a Laker and teammates with Kobe Bryant. The two infamously feuded while on the same team and after Shaq left via a trade to the Miami Heat. While in Miami, Shaq won a ring with Dwayne Wade. All this while Kobe did not make the playoffs at all, or he got bounced in the first round by the Phoenix Suns. Shaq's freestyle dissing Kobe happened in 2008, right after Kobe lost in the finals to the Boston Celtics. This freestyle stirred up a lot of drama in the media and added fuel on the fire between Shaq and Kobe. Their feud got so bad that Shaq's mother had to step in and she forced him to apologize for his actions. Ultimately, Kobe got the last laugh because the next year, the Lakers beat the Orlando Magic, and the year after that, they got their revenge against Boston in the NBA Finals. Kobe Bryant ended up with one more ring than Shaq, and the two made up before his tragic passing in 2020. RIP Kobe. Other than this, Shaq laid low with the rapping for some years. This was until he got into it with LeVar Ball, the father of the Ball brothers. Their beef started in 2017 when Shaq called out LeVar Ball for overcharging for kids' shoes. The ZO2s, Lonzo Ball's signature shoes under the family's Big Baller brand, were $495 upon release. LeVar Ball did not reply to Shaq for months until he said that he and his son could beat Shaq and his son. Shaq responded to this by posting a video of himself talking trash to LeVar while lip-syncing to Carrie Underwood. Shaq made more posts about LeVar until he dropped a diss track aimed at him.
You see my t-shirts, you see my feet work. Baller brand, that was me first.
The beef between the two appears to not be serious, with the two just merely talking trash with one another. Another diss track that wasn't serious that Shaq did in 2017 was when he made a diss to Big Shaq's Men's Not Hot. There was only room for one Shaq and he had to lay down the law. I remember when this came out and a lot of people in my generation found out that Shaq could rap, but Shaq's rap skills got put to the test in 2019 when Damian Lillard appeared on the Joe Budden podcast. While on the podcast, Damian said that he's a better rapper than Shaq. He also explained that he felt that Shaq was viewed as a basketball player who rapped rather than being acknowledged simply as a rapper. As a rapper would do, Shaq replied with a diss track.
Shaq, you see this flow, got a little Hall of Fame on it. Game shoot jumpers, Shaq still bang on it.
Damian Lillard and Shaq went back and forth with disses, but Shaq proved that he's really like that and willing to step in the booth. When it comes to life, I think that Shaq and Snoop Dogg are the two kings of side missions. I feel like they both do a lot and have lived a million lives in one lifetime. Something that Shaq has been really into aside from rapping is DJing. He's been DJing as DJ Diesel since 2015. It wouldn't be until 2023 when Shaq finally dropped his first album since 1998. This album was titled Guerrilla Warfare and would not be a rap album at all. Instead, it was an EDM album. Dubstep and EDM have really been his focus as of recently. Every now and then, he comes with the raps like featuring on Zero's song Stop the Rain.
I be spitting the truth, H-Town Diesel Dog, yo be loving the South. Think you get my beats incorrect, get the taste out your mouth.
The most recent notable thing that Shaq has done rapping wise is dissing Shannon Sharpe. The two got into it over Shaq's comments on Nikola Jokic winning the MVP and Shannon questioning Shaq's work ethic while he was an NBA player. This led Shaq to drop some bars on Shannon Sharpe.
LA well respected, Shaq well connected, Mr. Outstanding, big man on campus, champion plus the king of Los Angeles.
When discussing some of the best rapper athletes, I think Shaq is one of the best. What he managed to do has yet to be replicated by anyone. His first album went platinum, and the second one went gold. He had songs with Jay-Z, Mobb Deep, RZA, Method Man, Biggie Smalls, Nas, Nate Dogg, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, etc. The list goes on. He even featured on a Michael Jackson song. Yes, he featured on Michael Jackson's song Too Bad for his 1995 album History, Past, Present, and Future, Book 1.
It's the man of steel organism, prison, I'm from the prison, take charge like Manila, 9-5 Shaq represent with the thriller.
Good stuff, man. Personally, I think that Roy Jones Jr. is the greatest athlete rapper, but that just may be me. I know he doesn't have the discography of Shaq, but Can't Be Touched, I Smoke, I Drank, and Y'all Must Have Forgot are 3 of the best songs that an athlete has ever done. That's another video I'll consider doing because Roy Jones was nice when it came to rapping. Back to Shaq though, and despite what people think about his rapping abilities, I think he gets the essence of the culture. When Dame said something about him, he hopped right in the booth. The same thing with Shannon Sharpe. I get him not taking it seriously, especially when he found out how much money he made when his music went platinum. He saw that check and was disgusted. But it was never about the money. He wanted to rap with his friends and have fun. I think a lot of people would have done the same given the opportunity. All in all, what do you guys think of Shaq's rap career? Let me know in the comment section below. Love you guys with all my heart. Peace.